All right, welcome y'all. We are here to talk about my favorite event of the whole entire year, Cincy Family Reunion, and we brought some rock stars in to tell you their personal experience with it and just the importance of attending events, and you're going to learn a lot from them. So this is Johnny and Deandra. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Okay, good. Nino, and they promoted to Superstar Director last year. Yep. And I have followed them since I joined. They are some of my favorite Cincy peeps. Very inspiring. They got 6 kids, craziness, and they run their business like bosses. And yeah, go ahead.
Sweet. I feel like I should give a little bit of a personal background as to who I am, because if I talk about SFR now, then you guys are gonna be like, great, he's just trying to beat us with a bunch of stuff. But let me just go and rewind to when I was a teenager. Projects in front of classes, I skipped those days. I made sure to not be there because there was no way I was gonna go up in front of a class and present any kind of thing. The one time I accidentally didn't skip and I had to do it, I was sweating and I thought I was gonna die. And that continued on throughout my entire life. I was never able to stand in front of crowds. Even singing in church, even though I know nobody's paying attention to me because their mind is on one thing, I can't help but feel people are gonna be watching and it's gonna be awkward. I don't like that attention. So I have never liked any kind of events like this. And I remember going to my first ever Cincy event. It was world premiere. It was this, oops, oh gosh.
Uh-oh.
I said at the same time, but mine was muted.
Did they disappear on us? They'll be back.
They might have accidentally X'd out. They might ask to get back in.
Technical difficulties. Hold, please. There they are. Okay.
We had a counselor call us. My bad.
I'm gonna mute everyone real quick and just unmute yourself. If it lets me. There you go.
Sweet. All right. Sorry about that. We had a counselor call us. So I remember going to my first ever Cincy event. I did not want to go. I just remember being so nervous and there was this feeling in my gut that I always got, even as a kid, guys, when I say that I was very shy, when I joined Cincy, I'm not kidding. I used to cry when they sang me happy birthday every single year. It got to the point to where my family just never did because they stopped doing it. I think when I was 11, 12, because they were he's going to cry. Let's not do this anymore.
Johnny's the type who didn't like people. Literally, I say this every time and I just throw him right under the bus. But when we first started dating and we'd go to church, he would literally make us come to church late so that greeters weren't at the door to greet him. And then we would have to leave church early so that people wouldn't talk to him when we left. So he really is introvert, does not like people, does not like to talk to people. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just remember going into world premiere. They had it at a movie theater. So I was okay, that's fine. I'll just have to do a little bit of peopling. And then the rest of the time we'll be in this dark theater watching something on the screen. I can do it. It was exciting. I just remember walking in and all of these ladies dressed in different shades of purple and their hair huge and big and purple. And they had some of them had those, what are they called?
Boa.
Yeah, a boa that's purple. And it was just an amazing experience. Everybody made you feel they made you feel you were welcome, you belonged there, you were home. And I just remember when they shut down the lights, I was but I'm not done talking to people. I want to continue hanging out with people. And I don't know. After that, it changed everything. I'm getting stuttery.
He might cry.
No, I don't think I'll cry tonight. I just know that before that, it was January. It was the first January after we had joined. We had joined the September before. I just know that my time before that, it it didn't mean anything to me. From my join date to world premiere to the time that we had director, like that was a kind of iffy time. And world premiere, when I got a little bit of taste of that Scentsy spirit and having people surrounding me, it hit. It kind of gave me like that, oh gosh, what do they call it? Like it kind of like that saying, like leaders are born at events. And I kind of feel like that's what inspired me to want to go further into Scentsy. And it was just a feeling that you don't know how to really explain it until you experience it for yourself. You really don't. And us as leaders, like we try to put it into words, like this is what it's like. This is the experience. This is like the vibe. But you really can't put it into words. Like it's an experience that you have to go and experience in order to know, like you have to do it every single time. Like once you go to an event, you never want to miss another one. My first SFR, I didn't even get to go to, actually. It was in Kansas City, and Dee got to go by herself. And I'll let you talk about that a little bit if you want to.
Yeah, so I'm the complete polar opposite of Johnny. I am like I was on debate team. I loved presenting in front of people. I did 4-H and taught people how to do things. Any opportunity to be up in front of people or with people or talking that's what fuels me. So we're like polar opposite. I wanted to go to church like 30 minutes early so I could talk to people before and then stay 30 minutes after so I could talk to people after. And so we're like complete polar opposite. So when it came to the business, I would do like home parties and things, and it was just completely different than Johnny. So I had also sold every other direct selling product under the sun. So I had gone to other events before with other direct selling companies, and I had gone to events. I was a top performing rep for T-Mobile, the call center customer service. And so we got to go to like Vegas and all this stuff. So I knew about events and things like that. So when we first decided that I would be the one going to Kansas City because he couldn't go, I was excited. I was, thought in my head what I knew to expect based on my past experiences with other companies and with T-Mobile. So upon going, I thought, I got this. This is whatever. But going to Kansas City was actually completely different than anything I had ever gone to before. So I was used to like cliques and mean girls clubs. And I mean, I know that with every business there's that, but with Scentsy, I didn't know any of that upon going. Like the way that people make you feel and the way that you're welcomed and people care about you, they care about your story, they care about your why. It was just mind blowing. And to be part of, the general sessions, the trainings that they offer, meeting people that you'd been following and have them, know your name or, it was just unexplainable. So I was just blown away by the experience of SFR. And I totally, every minute I was there, I was like, oh my gosh, he should have been here. Oh my gosh, he should have been here. And I could not wait to go back and share with my team because I didn't promote SFR. I had no clue. So I was just like, it'll probably be fun, whatever. But I was also the excuse person. I was like, well, I can't afford it. I can't do this. I can't do that. And so once we had budgeted in that I'd be able to go, I still had all these excuses. Well, after going to SFR and after being at that event, coming back from that, it was like an event high, like the whole week after, like, I just could not wait to tell my team about it, to tell them how important it was to be at the next SFR. It was just, it was mind blowing. And it was after that SFR that September. The following September. So the following September that I actually decided to work the business as a business after we attended Texas together.
No, that was a couple years later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was after the first SFR that I decided to actually work Scentsy as a business, and do something with it. We had just done it as a hobby. And like he said, he never really paid attention to anything until he went to an event. But just the family that we, almost said purchased, we didn't purchase family, the family that we gained inherited. Being there is something that I always say, that if we never made a paycheck with Scentsy, the family and connections that we've made would be worth anything, any time spent and any dollar spent, just based on that. And even if you're an introvert, it's something that can still fuel you. It's something that there's other introverts that are just as scared to be there as you are. And they're there to learn and grow just like you are, and step out of their comfort zone, because we can't grow when we're stuck in our comfort zone, right? You're not going to grow. So stepping outside of that comfort zone, if going to an event is something that you're deathly afraid of, let people know. Like, there's groups that are started before SFR that you can be like, hey, this is who I am. I can talk on a computer, but in meeting in person, I'm scared. There's other people that are, going through the same thing and feeling the same way as you. So, you won't be alone. That's for sure.
There's probably a Facebook group of it. There's groups for everything these days. But I remember the second world tour not second, it was the first one technically, world tour that I went to. They asked me to present, and I was nervous. I will not lie. I remember I don't know why I said yes. I don't even know what came over me when I just replied to the email, and I was so happy, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And then I sent it, and I texted my SSD right after, and I was like, I don't know what I just did, but I signed up to present at World Tour. And she was like, are you stupid? Do you know who you are? Do you know who we are? Because we're basically the same person. And she was like, I would never do that, and here you are doing it. And I was like, I don't know why I did it, but I guess I have to do it now. I'm committed. And it went great. I remember I'm so last minute. I did my presentation, the visual board, the night before. I literally, it was 11 o'clock right before Walmart closed, buying all the stuff that I needed last minute, but it worked out. It turned out great. I was not unhappy, but whatever. It was the most amazing experience for me personally, because I proved to myself that I can do one of the hardest things that I had avoided doing my entire life. All of high school and middle school, there was no way I was going to present in front of anybody, not even my classmates that I had grown up with for years. I was not going to stand up in front of them. So the fact that I did this in front of all kinds of people, not just my downline, but other people's downline and people higher up. Kelly, what's her last name? How do you say her name? Kelly, oh my gosh, Becca Levi's daughter.
Kelly?
Yes, what's her last name? Is it?
Yeah.
Is it really
Kelly Tara Smith?
It's Petticord. It used to be Petticord. And then she got
what I was thinking of. Okay, so I remember she was there, and when she walked up, I was like, I actually know who this is. This was one of the first SSDs that I had ever fanboyed over, because they had been living the big grandest Scentsy life since I had joined. So I'd always been a fan of them. So when she showed up, and I was like, this is crazy. I'm presenting to her. What the heck? It's insane. But at the end, when we did it and I was done, it felt amazing just to know I do not like to do these things. I would never do these things. I would never, ever, ever in a million years put myself in this position to do these kinds of things. And I did. And I was extremely proud of myself. And they invited me again to present at SFR and Disney. And both Dee and Bree, they were like, okay, World Tour is one thing, but SFR and Disneyland, all kinds of people are going to go to that SFR, and you're going to present at that one. And I was like, I don't know why, but I signed up again, and I don't know why I did it. I don't know what's coming over me when I reply to these emails, but I'm doing it. And that one too turned out to be so freaking amazing. It was one of the best experiences of my life. And again,
every time we came to the table, there's a line of females, and we're like, oh my gosh. And
we're in the business
game. And I was like, get this man out
this
of here.
Business is full of girls. How many guys do you see on the screen right now? I'm the only one. So I got another line of girls. But it was again, the most amazing experience, and just another lesson to myself. I don't even know if it was a lesson, but just a reminder lesson. I can do the hard things. I can say yes, and I'm going to be I'm going to be scared to the very moment that I am up there. But the moment somebody comes up, it's that fear is overcome. And I'm it's all about me, that passion inside of me to show people what I love about Scentsy and what keeps me here and what drives me, what motivates me. And for me to be able to share that with people, it's inspiring for myself. I don't know what it is. When you inspire other people, when you're serving other people, basically, it's self-motivating almost in a way. So I challenge like everybody, if you are not thinking about signing up for SFR tomorrow, you should. You totally should. No doubt in your mind, like you should go. This is our first like SFR in 2 years. I'm probably going to be like sobbing. My eyes are going to be like swollen and red from seeing everybody. Because it's been 2 years since I've seen a lot of people, and I'm excited. I know that it's going to be amazing. I know that Sensi is like working something magical up because it's been 2 years and they are not going to like make this any kind of basic SFR. They're going to be like, we're going all out. Like this is our first time together in forever. So I don't know what more we can say to like convince you guys to go.
If you have excuses, because that's what they are. So it's okay to have them, but just post them in the chat so we can bust your excuses, because that is what we're in the business of doing. We were actually like the biggest excuse givers ever for why we couldn't do Cincy, why we couldn't promote to director, why we couldn't promote to SSD, why we couldn't do this, why we couldn't do that. So that is how we were. And so the biggest thing is every excuse you have can be busted with a solution. So be part of the solution, not part of a problem. And no, that's a genuine question. Where do you find childcare? I don't know where you live, but we have a big house, so you're welcome to bring your kids here. We have like a live-in nanny, and she'll babysit everybody's kids.
You're crazy.
So no, but there's also, depending on where you live, that's an option as well. I know that if people don't have family and things like that, we have my mom that comes in from a different town, and she'll come in and stay with the kids. And then, Everett, Washington. Yeah, you can bring your kids. And actually, when we had kids at Disney, we had people watch our kids in the hotel. And we have lots of people have older kids that will help. So like if you brought your kids and somebody else had their older kids, they could stay in the hotel room and hang out together, whatever. That has happened before.
There always ends up being those consultants who bring their teenage daughters, and their daughters are like, I want to babysit and make some money while I'm here. So somebody wants me to watch their kids while they're in session, then I will. And that's something too that the SF group I think is already created. So that group is created, and people will post stuff like that in there, saying, hey, I need childcare. Hey, I have a teenage daughter that's coming and would love to hang out with your kids while whatever. So that's an option. Another thing is people are always like, well, I can't afford it. It's so far away, whatever. If you start saving money right now, it is a possibility. For Johnny and I, mostly me, are like super hustlers as far as like, if I need something, I know things that I can do to get it done. So we donate plasma. You could start now donating plasma and putting that into a savings until you get there. Obviously, if you're not afraid of needles and you can donate plasma. That's an option. We babysit extra kids. We already have 8 children in this house, but I babysit 2 extra kids every week for an extra $150. There, that's savings right there. People carpool together so you can save money by gas, especially since gas is like $27 a gallon currently. You can save money by doing that. I learned how to make tamales, so I sell tamales. I like what Emily said. I was going to say that too, selling an extra $1,000 a month. So
Yep.
if you're not already doing $2,000 a month in PRV, then that should be your goal. It should be a goal like anyways, because 500 is great. If that's your goal, just to hit like leadership numbers, paid at title to get that, then that's cool. But something I heard earlier is if you want like real money, then go for the 2,000, go for the 2,500, because then if you're doing 2,500 consistently every month, then you're on track to hit annual sales every single year. So $2,000 is $600 every paycheck from that alone. So if you take half of that and personally use it, if you have to for bills or whatever, and then take the rest and invest it into your business, then you're doing yourself a favor. You're really, by investing back into your business, by what you're making off of your business, it's probably one of the smartest things that you can do, because that money, if you're not making it already, and then you like are, and like it's there because you earned it. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but that money came out of nowhere, really, because all you did was sell some wax to get it. Like literally just came from your hustle. So you didn't have that money before, so you don't really need to be counting on that money. So the minute you get it, don't count on that money. Don't depend on that money. Don't depend on that 600 into your bills. No, or have a goal. I know I'm going to get at least 600. I'm not going to waste or spend more than half of that on my personal self. Like, try to use all of it if you can. But like, I do not have this money every single month. It is not consistent. So I don't need to depend on this. So I'm going to invest at least half of it back into my business. And from now until what? How many months is that? What are we in? March, April, May, June? There's 4 months until, or no,
It's
in June. Crap, 3 months. Crap, they moved it up a month. So there's 3 months. That's still 3 months of savings. So
letting your customers know and being transparent with them as well. Like, hey, I have a bigger goal this month because I'm trying to go to this huge leadership opportunity where I'm going to learn and grow. And
what she just said.
yeah. And so you can let customers know, personal message them, especially your bigger customers or customers that haven't hosted a party in a while. Hey, would you be interested in hosting a party? Because I have this goal to hit, to be able to go to Salt Lake City, to be able to, gain this leadership and be inspired by others and all this, all the fluff. But really just, I think being transparent with your customers and doing that, you can earn that extra money for sure with your PRV. If you need ideas, your guys' group is amazing. You can ask us, you can ask other people for ideas on increasing PRV or, ideas,
videos.
Yeah, tons of training.
Yeah.
So it's something that it's definitely worth the money. It all is a tax write-off. And it's something that as a leader, you should be doing and showing your teams that, servant leadership, leading from the front. This is what we do. This is how we do it. So that's huge. So if you are a leader, that's something you need to be thinking about because that's servant leadership. That's showing your team that this does matter and it is important. If you've never gone to SFR before, it's a must. It's definitely the best investment you will make into your company, business, company, family, all that, whatever. Can't talk tonight. So I think that's just huge. Events are so important from the small ones, but this one is literally
even the ones that your leaders put on. Like if they put on an event and they're extending you the invitation to go, if you can go, you should go. Like that is an honor to be extended an invitation to something that a leader is putting out because they are putting time, they are putting effort into that. They're putting their own money most likely into that. Like they're putting so much energy into these events. So when you get an invitation, like if you are able to go, you say, heck yes, I will be there because it's important to build those connections. I feel like the biggest thing you're ever going to get out of SFR, I mean, not only are you going to feel like the Cincy spirit and all that stuff, but it's truly going to be the whole connection, being surrounded by people who are in this like-minded state as you. Like they all want to be successful Cincy consultants. They all have similar goals. We're all striving for the same things. So when you're surrounded by people who want all the same things that you do, it's inspiring, it's motivating, it fills you. When you are at the airport, you can't stop talking and thinking about the last 2 days that you had. You literally cannot. You sit in the chair and people are talking to you and you're thinking about everything that you just went through and experienced. And they're like, are you listening? And you're like, no, I'm not. I'm still on cloud 9. Stop talking to me. And it's I truly can't put into words, like the right amount of words, the feeling that you're going to get if you go to SFR. It's an experience like no other. These virtual ones have been the greatest blessing to keep us connected over the past couple of years, but this in-person one, oh man, it is giving me chills right now just thinking about it because I already know how amazing Cincy's planning it out to be. Like it's going to be epic. And if you miss out and they announce something like huge, great there, or like anything, if you miss out and you're not there, you're gonna have FOMO that entire week because all of us that are there. And when we
get all the goodies before y'all, and we get to see all the cool stuff before y'all, and we're bringing gifts home in our bags, you're gonna be
sharing
jealous.
On Facebook and our stories and all of that, and you're like, I should have went. We're gonna be like, yes, you should have came because we told you. Remember?
And I know that a big thing is people say, you know, I'm an introvert, I have anxiety, I have social anxiety, things like that. And I don't understand that.
I'm sweating talking to you guys, and you guys aren't even in my house. Okay, this is introvert. This is real.
So I don't understand that. So I can't say I understand. I don't understand it. He does. And I think the biggest thing is just remembering that there's still times when you can get away. Peopling when you're an introvert can be super draining. And so there is times when you can get away. You can go back to your hotel room. You can go in a quiet room. You can go in the bathroom. Yeah. Like, you know, there's times when you'll have downtime to just think about what you just went through and what you just saw and all the conversations you just had. You'll have that opportunity. And again, be transparent. Tell the people you're talking to, I have anxiety and I'm like, I need to step away for a few minutes. Cool. Nobody's going to be like, hey, look at that crazy fruitcake that just left because she's scared of us or something. Like, no one's going to be like that. Yeah. And I was going to say something else and now I forgot. Yeah, I was going to say something else. I just know for me, like, I like being around people and I like the free stuff and I like the general sessions of like all the excitement.
The training content is always amazing.
Of course, the training content's awesome. Like, you know, even as SSDs or star directors or whatever, we still always are learning. So even learning from people under us who are doing things differently than we have is huge. The other thing I was going to say, that's what I was going to say, is Emily said, those who show up, go up. It reminds me of like when you go to college and, you know, who gets good grades? The people that come, right? Not the people that are registered for the class, but then never show up. So if you're not showing up, you're never going to learn. If you're not showing up, you're never going to grow. If you're not showing up, you're never going to know the people you're in class with. So of course, if something happens, they're not going to be connected with you because they have no idea who you are. So it's your job as a leader. It's your job as a Sensi consultant and part of our family to put yourself out there, to go to these events, to show up, to learn, to grow, to step outside of your comfort zone. And especially if you're a leader, if you have one person underneath you, that means you're a leader and you have to teach that person and show that person that you can do hard things. You can do things that put you outside your comfort zone and make you sweat and stutter and cry and do all the things. So
are you just like pointing in general or? Yeah, we're rude.
Can I ask advice from you? Yes, Teresa, you can ask advice.
Heck yes.
We're not very smart though, so.
I mean,
Teresa, feel free to unmute yourself if you want to chat. Putting you on the spot.
Oh,
Yes,
I'm sorry.
Teresa.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Let me go to a different room. I do apologize. Okay, so I've been a Sensi consultant for a few years now, and I've been having the hardest time trying to get more sales and also trying to get somebody to sign up under me that'll actually stay and do their part to, you know, to help and to sell and to do all that stuff, because it seems like everybody that I'm friends with, out of my whole group of friends, there's probably about 10 consultants. So it's always competing against other people that I'm friends with, and I just don't know how to do it to become a better consultant.
So for us, that is a great question. For us, if you're competing for customers and you're finding that in your circle, it's kind of, I don't know the word I'm trying to use, I guess full of consultants or whatever. If that's your circle, then you need to expand your circle. So you need to figure out what, who are you? You know, who am I? What do I like? I started out by joining random groups on Facebook. So I have a lot of kids. So I joined like large moms. I mean, large moms in both ways, large moms and large moms, large family moms, whatever. See, I can't talk. Large family moms, large family moms. Okay. So I joined groups like large family moms, like
you're too much.
Girls Who Love Chickens, like whatever. There's literally Facebook groups for everything. So who are you? Write down things or ask people, you know, if I asked what type of person am I? What would come to mind? Or how would you associate with me? It's, not Scentsy wise, but other things like boy mom or, whatever, all the things. And so then you start building connections within those groups. I'm also, yes, Emily, a great interaction post. So literally post that on your Facebook, like, who am I outside of Scentsy, and have people comment. That's going to boost your algorithm. That's going to get you showing up in other people's pages. And then you're going to know, these things that you maybe don't know, because sometimes we don't know that about ourselves, or it's not something we recognize. So you need to expand your circle. You need to join groups. You need to make new friends. So if it was me, I would be, in my local area. Is there some moms groups coming up? Is there a Bible study I can go to? Is there a church event that I can go to? Like, where can I go, or what can I do to meet new people, to get outside of my normal circle so that I am not fighting for customers? And that is the biggest thing. And your family circle, start there too. Like, who do you know in your family that you're not selling to now, or that you could know their friends? That's why you need to go back. And if you haven't done a list of 100 in a while, you need to go back and you need to do that list of 100. And then it expands from there. Your kids as teachers, if you don't have kids in school, then grandkids as teachers, things like that. You expand yourself. And again, it's going to take getting outside of your comfort zone, because, not everyone is going to go up to a random stranger like me at the grocery store and make friends with my Walmart checker and then have her over for lunch the next day. That's just weird. Not everyone's like me. So, just expanding your circle so that you're not doing that anymore. That's going to help you get sales as well. But then also reaching out to other people for ideas as well, in your group and things like that. Because for me, I'll go to a vet clinic and I ask them right away, can I bring a warmer and scents in here to the vet clinic? Now I am their new Scentsy consultant. And now every person that comes into that vet clinic knows who I am. And every person that works at that vet clinic knows who I am. So when they think of Scentsy, they think of me. When somebody asks about their warmer or their scents, they're going to tell them us. So it's just a matter of sitting down. There's trainings on this as well, that breaks down every little idea, but it's just going to be a matter of, okay, I need to branch out. And what does that look like? Who am I, and why am I doing this? Going back to the basics and literally, starting over as if, this is a new business venture. How am I going to get my name out there? And how am I going to be different? When people associate Scentsy, I want them to think of me. We live in a small town here, and when we moved to this town, there is a consultant here that is, I think she's like maybe a star consultant. She does every single event in this town. Like, you cannot get into the events because she has them booked 14 years in advance and all the things. She knows everyone and their dog.
She lets us know.
And if we ask, hey, is this event taken? She's the first to comment and let us know that, no, girl, that's my event. And that's fine. Okay, that's fine. I am not going to do my business.
That was actually a challenge for us. We were like, this is a small town. She's kind of got this town on lock. Like, how are we going to make connections in this town?
And we did. We started leaving catalogs at doctor's offices here because she hadn't. I'm not going to step on her toes. If she leaves catalogs there, I'm going to leave it alone. But the fact of the matter is, when I'm going to every doctor's office in this tiny little town or vet clinic and she's never even offered, that's my cue to, like, okay, this is an area that she's not servicing. And so I'm not going to run my business on events, and I'm not going to bank that I get an event here. That's okay. I'll approach it a different way. Then my name will be out here a different way. And now in the buy sell trade sites here and the yard sale sites, when people say in search of a Scentsy consultant, our names are the only ones tagged, and then she'll tag herself. It's fine. But again, that's just because we've made relationships and built connections with people where she hasn't. Yes, they know that she does these events and people will buy on hand from her at these events, but she's not following up with those people. So they're not repeat customers, and they're still in search of a Scentsy consultant. And we are the type that are like, we're going to invite you over for dinner. We're going to show up at your house with goodies, like whatever. We are going to make sure that we build a lasting relationship with you so that when you think of Scentsy, you think of us. And then again, referrals are huge. So when you're building your circle and expanding your circle, Teresa, then your referrals are going to get huge. And then again, your circle is just going to keep growing and growing. And not because you're meeting 100 people a month. No, it's because those 10 people you met this month are then referring you to their friends and family. So for me, that would be where I start and kind of make that interactive post and then kind of go from there.
Well, thank you very much. I just wanted to say, you know, I think because I've been scrolling and looking at everybody's pictures and I'm like, wow, I think I'm the oldest person in this group right now. And I'm gonna throw April in because I love what she does, and I just love every time I see her post. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to be like April when I grow up. Like, I just love her to pieces. So April, I just want to say, I just love what you do and I love how you do it. And I want to be like you.
Thank you, Teresa. I was actually going to chime in after Deandra was finished because I know you're here. I know you're in New Mexico. And I know that we live in a very small state. We've taken over New Mexico. There's 500 of us here. So it's normal to overlap consultants. We're always going to be overlapping. And that's why when Deandra said it's crucial to expand your network. That way you're not feeling like you're in competition with another consultant, because one, there's no competition with somebody that has the same goals as you. We're all working towards the same thing. And two, it's our job as consultants to figure out what we can do to not feel like we're competing or stealing customers, because there's so many of us, it's going to overlap. So my biggest thing is create a business page, boost posts, and target new customers through your business page. That way you're reaching other states, you're reaching people that are not local to you, and you can build a relationship with them through social media. That way, when they think of Scentsy, they're coming to you instead of their local consultants. So don't let the saturated market here discourage you from trying to expand your business, because the more that we continue to build our teams here in New Mexico, the more consultants there's going to be, because everyone wants to be a consultant right now. And it happens. There's so many of us. So definitely look into ways to create or get creative with expanding your network. And I mean, you can personally message me and we can talk about business pages and how to target new potential customers and get outside of your own local friends and family. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I think the thing that's discouraged me the most is I've tried like bringing in other consultants, like to sign them up. And I had two really close friends who I thought they were like my real close friends. And then they signed up under somebody else. I was like, no, it's just like they were asking me questions and then they went to somebody else.
It happens more often than you can imagine. It happens to the best of us. It happens to all of us. It's happened to every single one of us, to where somebody has asked someone questions and they join under someone else. You can't take that personal. People vibe with who they vibe with. So if they're talking to a consultant and then they're talking to another consultant, you can't take it personal. It's nothing against you. It's just their personal preference, and that's their personal preference. So just keep doing what you're doing and they'll come. You'll draw them into you. The more that you stay consistent in expanding your network, you'll draw people in that are attracted to you.
Okay. Thank you so much for all of you guys' time. And I'm sorry for interrupting with that, but thank you. I do appreciate it.
Johnny and Deandra, did you guys have anything else to say?
I think that was pretty much it. I mean, I think I overshared on excitement.
No, it was really good. I always love listening to you two.
We're a mess.
Yes.
That's probably why I like listening to y'all, because y'all remind me of myself.
We're all a mess over here. So while we have you guys, if you guys want to stay on, I kind of want to, for the next like 15 minutes, open it up to, there's 4 of us on here that have attended an in-person SFR. I kind of want to see if these ladies want to share their experience. That way you guys can hear from someone else. Because that was our first SFR and then everything shut down. So we are like through the roof excited that this event is happening. And we, like Johnny said, we can't explain enough how, like, you can't put into words how important it is to show up, because it'll literally change your entire business if you want it to. So Emily, do you think that we should do that?
That's fine with me. Johnny and Yonder can go if you guys want to, though. I don't want to keep you guys here all night.
We're fine if
Yeah,
you
I'm
want.
good.
We'll just stay in
I
here.
mean, I'm not kicking you out. You can hang out with us as long as you want. I just don't want to take up your whole night.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go first?
I'll go first because it's
Go
on my
ahead.
heart right now. I'm just thinking about it. And I'm going to apologize now if I tear up because I always do when I talk about my journey. But me personally, I joined Sensi a little over 3 years ago, so I'm fairly new. And I earned my first incentive trip about 4 months in, and I didn't even know I was working towards it. So when I found out that I earned a trip, I was like, this is not real life. So my husband and I attended Marco Island. So that was our first incentive trip. And then the very next month was SFR. And I was like, after experiencing the incentive trip, I was like, there's absolutely no way I can miss this SFR. And me being, I'm very shy and socially awkward. And I mean, a lot of people might not think that, but I am. I mean, Sensi's really helped me open up a little bit, but introvert and not very social. I booked a flight to Austin, Texas, and jumped on an airplane by myself, which was terrifying, and went and stayed in an Airbnb with 18 other women that I haven't even met before. So that was a little interesting, to say the least. So I just completely came out of my comfort zone just because I knew that if I did, that it was going to give me the chance to grow. And that's what I wanted. That's what we all want, is to grow. So I showed up to this event, and I also was asked I wasn't even a year in, asked as a new director to present at SFR. And I didn't know what I was getting myself into when I said yes, but I did. I said yes. I got up there on stage in front of a full room and felt like I wanted to word vomit. I did word vomit. My slides started going everywhere. Everything started jumping around, and I literally just wanted to cry. But Emily helped me, and she was like, this is her first time. I wasn't very good at public speaking, and I feel like I'm still not, but I managed to get through that 30-minute presentation, and then went back to my hotel and drank a bottle of wine to the head because I felt like I failed.
Can I just say too, really quick, that she was doing absolutely 100% fine until she would say, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous, guys. I'm so nervous, guys. You couldn't even tell that she was nervous. And I kept telling her, I'm like, just keep doing what you're doing. So I just want to say that too, like, you may feel like you're not doing okay, but that's just your own insecurities in your brain. To the outside world, you look like you're killing it. So,
well, that was
just
me thinking like, I'm not good at this, or I'm not worthy enough to be up here in front of all these people. And that was the enemy in my ear telling me like, you shouldn't be doing this. But I did it. I pushed through. And that presentation helped me so much in my business because, for one, I got up there in front of hundreds of people. For two, I had people coming up to me afterwards, just thanking me because they knew that I was a hot mess up there, thanking me, and added me on Facebook. And I still am friends with some of those people that added me on Facebook to this day. And another thing that really helped me was I got to get up on stage and walk the stage as a new director. And there was 3 of us that got to walk up there, and 2 of them went this way, and I got stuck going this way by myself. So I'm like, oh my God, my heart's pounding out of my chest. And I didn't know anyone, but just to be able to get up there in front of like 10,000 plus consultants and know that I'm here and I did this because I showed up and pushed myself out of my comfort zone is what made me grow. And leaving that SFR, I left there and I was like, I'm going to promote to star director. I'm going to do all the things. I'm never going to miss an incentive trip again. I'm never going to miss an event again. And since then, I've earned every level of the incentive, or every incentive trip since then. You know what I mean? Like, everything's been virtual, but I'm still showing up and I'm still trying to push myself and grow. And I think that very first SFR really helped my mindset to know that this is real, and that if you want something out of this business, it can be anything that you want to, but you have to give yourself a chance. And if you don't show up, you'll never know. You'll never know what it can be. So I definitely encourage all of y'all to register as soon as it opens tomorrow and get there if you can make it happen. Emily?
I'll go next just because you said something that I don't want to forget about. I'll tell like my whole little story, but there was something that she said that made me think that everybody has excuses. You are not going to have a different excuse than somebody else. Like everybody, I could think of 15 different reasons why I can't go to Salt Lake City if I really sat and thought about it. Like you just have to, she told me how to say, is it Elisa or Alyssa? Alyssa, there we go. I always want to say Lisa, but she said she wants to be successful more than she wants to be alone when they were talking about like the introverts and stuff. And that's really what you have to do. You have to want to be successful more than you want to be comfortable and I know it's not like, I'm not trying to say this to like say it's like the childcare thing. Obviously that's a valid thing that you need to try to work out, but it can be figured out is the point. Like everything is figure outable. But there's my little tangent. I'll tell you like my little story about SFRs. So I think I'm the only one in our group who's been blessed enough to be able to go to 2 different in-person SFRs. My first one was in California. So when I joined with the intention of making this like a big business and being able to work from home because I have 4 kids and it was just impossible working with, and I had small kids. When I joined, my youngest 2 kids were 1 year old and like 7 months old. Like I had 2 babies. And so 3 weeks after I joined, I lost my job and I like freaked out. It was like really, really scary, but looking like hindsight, it was like that was definitely God. Because it made me work harder and hustle more. And it kind of doesn't make sense because I lost my job. So it means I was like in a financial crisis, but that was what made me decide that I had to go to Cincy Family Reunion because I had to make this business work. I didn't have an option. Going back to work was not an option. I had never flew before in my life, and I looked at my sponsor like she was crazy when she told me that I had to, I was going to go to California, but somehow I made it work. I figured it out. We figured out babysitting. My husband stayed home, and he obviously was there with them when he wasn't at work, but we just figured it out, and I went, and it was the pivotal point in my business, 100%. It was my favorite SFR I've been to so far. It was just magic. The atmosphere in there is like you can feel, and it sounds so cliche and like so like I don't know, but it's real. It's true. It's like music's bumping and confetti cannons everywhere, and you're most likely going to cry multiple times while you're there. You're going to get hugged by everybody. You're going to be dancing your butt off. Like it is crazy the things that happen, and like. The introverts, you would be surprised at how that shell comes down when you're surrounded by all these people who are acting like crazy nutcases like myself. And then I also got to go to Austin. That also was a really good experience too. I had a team when I went to Austin. So it was a little bit different. Like it was more of like a leadership aspect instead of me just going as a like consultant on my own. So it was just as amazing. We had just as much fun. I'll never forget standing in line trying to get a good seat. And they opened those doors and it was like a Black Friday event. And I've never ran so fast in my adult life as I did trying to get to those front seats. It was nuts. Biggest adrenaline rush ever. It's just, I don't know. I can't describe it. Cincy events in general are amazing, but SFR is like, there's nothing like it. I would probably miss an incentive trip before I would miss SFR, but I don't want to miss incentive trip either. But I'm just saying, if I had to pick one or the other, I would probably pick SFR before I would pick an incentive trip. That's how amazing it is. They show you, the harvest collection and the holiday collection first, and the new catalog release. They have all the products laid out so you can see it and take photos. They announced the new incentive trip. It's so good. It's so good. And that's all for me.
Gabby?
Nikki or Gabby, one of you.
Gabby, you can unmute yourself.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So my first and only SFR, only because of COVID, but was Austin, same as April's. And I went, let's see, I joined at the end of April 2019. And like 2 months later, 2.5 months later was SFR. Mind you, I joined Scentsy because a friend begged me to. Like, I didn't even want nothing to do with Scentsy. I just did it so my friend would quit asking me. Just to be a good friend, sure, I'll do it, whatever. It's only $99. Please leave me alone. I don't want to do it. So I got the kit and I was like, hold on, this is kind of cool. I liked all the testers. The testers were like the thing for me, like all the cool testers. So I got my kit, I went live on Facebook, and then I got a couple sales from going live. So I was like, hold on, this might work. So my friend that begged me to join, begged me to go to Texas for Scentsy family reunion. So she came down to my house, she helped me register, and I was like, all right, let's go. I booked my flight. Then she canceled on me like a week before we were supposed to fly out to Texas, my friend. So she didn't even go with me. I flew all the way to Texas by myself from Cincinnati. I didn't know anybody. Well, I knew Emily. Emily was the only one I had met prior to at like a bring back my bar sample night or whatever. But I went as a lead consultant. I think I had a team of 1 or 2 maybe at the time. And still, even when I went, I never thought Scentsy could be like a full-time situation. Like I never thought, like all these people were talking about making thousands and thousands of dollars. And I'm like, there's no way anybody's making that much money selling wax and warmers. Like it didn't register in my brain. And then I went to a Scentsy family reunion. And then I started talking to other people, and just the vibe there, y'all. Just the vibe alone in the room is worth the trip to me. And that was like a pivotal point in my business, was Scentsy family reunion. That's when I realized, like, this is it. Like, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. You know, and I have a really good 9-to-5 job. I could easily stay at my 9-to-5 and clock in and clock out every day, and I could be just fine. I could pay all my bills and I would be happy. I like my 9-to-5, but it's nothing compared to what Scentsy will ever be. And Texas was fun. Not only the Scentsy part of like the, you know, like we got to see all the products. We got to see like the Darth Vader warmer when it first came out. Like you get to see all the big Scentsy buddies, like the huge ones that they have at home office. That was like really cool to me. And like just the friendships I made in Texas, like that was the first time I met April. And like, since then we've been like best friends. So that was like the best part for me. So it's worth it if you can swing it. Like they were saying earlier, it's worth it. Like I know babysitting and all that is like a real issue, but leaders are born at events. I think after I left Texas, on the ride home, like on my plane ride home, I made a list of like everything, because fall was getting ready to come. We've seen all the new fall products. I'm like, this is what I need to do. This is what I'm going to do. And I did it. And then like, I think, let's see, June, July, August. It was like 6 months later, I hit director. And then like 2 months later after that, I hit star director. So that's when I realized Scentsy was the bomb, and I went to work and it paid off. So if you can make the trip to Salt Lake City, it is 1000% worth it. It will change your business. It will change you personally. It will change your mindset. It will change everything. Not just your business. It changes like who you are as a person, literally. You come home a better person when you go to Scentsy family reunion. But that's it. Baby's squirming and I think he pooped. So I'm gonna get over here. Yeah, he definitely pooped. Well, let me mute myself.
Nikki, you can unmute yourself.
I can't follow up with the baby pooping, man.
I know.
Well, I'll start with whenever I heard about Cincy Family Reunion, my very first one, I was a pretty new consultant. I was not even 6 months in. Let's see. I joined in August, so it would have been the next June or July. So it was also going to be the Austin, Texas Cincy Family Reunion, and I puzzled it sat with me. I could not comprehend why or how to logically spend the amount of money that I was going to be spending to go to Austin, Texas. For one, it was going to be my first flight by myself. The finances alone, I'm my own business owner, so I have to close my whole business down for the whole time I'm gone. And really, I really struggled with trying to figure out how or make sense of why that much money actually made sense to spend that much money to go somewhere. So I really struggled till very last minute. I ended up jumping and hitting the thing, and I instantly, as soon as I booked my tickets, I had instant guilt. I was like, oh my God, I have sat here and spent all this money on going to Cincy Family Reunion. This is not going to be something that I have to do. This is not going to help my business so much that I need to spend that much money, right? Well, was I wrong? At first, I was so hating myself. I was so mad. I went up to Cincinnati and had to fly out. My flight was supposed to connect in, I think, Dallas to go to Austin. Well, when I got to Dallas, I had missed my flight because we had a delay in Cincinnati. I had missed my connecting flight, so I had to sleep in the airport overnight by myself. So I called the girls, freaking out, crying. Here I've spent all this money with my husband, my kids, my job, all this stuff shut down. And then I go by myself and I'm sleeping in an airport with no help. The girls were trying to find me rental cars. I was like, I don't care. Just get me out of here. There was nothing. They were gone. There was nothing to be found. Nothing. My husband had switched as I was landing. He had switched my flights from one company to another. And as I was landing, it took off. So I missed it too. So I did have to stay the whole night, cried like a baby, called Emily. I was like, I can't believe I'm stuck in this airport. Find somebody to come and get me. Like, I was freaking out. So I sat there, put my suitcase against the wall, put my back up against it, turned on a movie, and put my earbuds in, and then just tried to kind of zone out and not focus on that I'm sitting here sleeping in an airport, and just try to think of what was to come. So that was really hard for me. I'm not going to lie. But whenever I actually got to the house, got to meet all of these people, the first time that, I got to meet many of these girls, Gabby, April, I'd met you at World Tour, I think, before. But we all really just clicked and bonded really quick, even before we got to SFR. But the very moment that I walked in, and we're standing in line, and there's hundreds of people in front of us. There's hundreds of people coming in behind us. There's hundreds of people to the side of you. You're just looking around like, holy crap, is this really happening? What is happening right now? And next thing you hear is like people screaming Cincy. And then if you've not been to a Cincy event, you'll know real quick. When somebody says Cincy, you better scream Spirit, because it's happening like 10 times, and it's the biggest, most exciting moment. And the energy that comes off of a Cincy Spirit chat, like it's 2 words, but those words are so full of love and compassion and excitement from so many different people, from so many different walks of life. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Needless to say, whenever I went to reunion, I went through all the trainings, I was like mind blown. I sat down with a big group of everybody that was there, and we literally sat down and figured out how we were going to earn the next incentive, and we did it. Each and every one of us, we kind of worked together. We had buddy systems. So you're going to find people at Cincy Family Reunion that you're not ever going to see on your day-to-day walk, ever. But they can be your closest friends because we can Zoom and we can talk, and it's kind of hanging out with people that are like-minded, kind of the same aspect. So I left Austin, Texas, the most exhausted I had ever been, so sleep deprived, but my cup was overflowing, and I literally walked out the doors and said, I will hit director in September. Mind you, this was in July. I was a star consultant. How am I going to jump that quick? In 2 months, I did it, because they truly mean whatever. Whenever you go in there, these events truly make leaders. It lights your butt on fire, and the energy and just the love. I don't know. It's just so good, you guys. It is absolutely crazy. You have to go. And even this one, I was like, Emily, I don't know. I'm going to have to spend this much money on a flight. I've done it again. I'm like, gosh, how am I going to do this? Closing down the business, leaving the house and leave the kids. But I'm going, because I am not missing it. It's just insane, you guys. There's no words that can truly explain the amount of, I don't know, Cincy spirit that's in the air. It's just the whole vibe. It's the aroma. It's awesome. It's something you can't miss.
I did not know that I did the same exact thing. I did not know that you were a star consultant and then 2 months later hit director, and said in September. I did the exact same thing. I said, I don't know what it was about September, but September was the month that I decided I was going to hit. And I did not know that at all.
Yeah, I still have my books, y'all. I have my training books and everything where I wrote everything out, and I'm like, I will hit it. I've got the breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
I did the same thing at World Tour. I went as a star consultant, and that was in January, my very first event, and I left there crying. We drove 1,900 miles away to Indianapolis. Left there crying like, I'm going to promote the director. And I did it 2 weeks later. So there's something about those events that will literally, it definitely builds up a confidence in you that you might not know is there. And it pulls it out of you, because I don't know why. It just does. It's definitely something special.
Something I wanted to add before everyone goes is, you already did one of the hardest things by signing up. Committing to that alone is a big enough choice by itself. So the fact that you're on this call and you've signed up and you have access to the workstation, you've done hard things already. You're doing them now. So SFR, let's just add that to your list. Let's just add that to another thing that you're like, yeah, I was scared of crowds, but I did it. I did it. And I'm going to do it again next. I'm going to do it again the year after that. And I'm going to continue to do it forever. So just remember, you already did the big scary thing of signing up and putting yourself out there by being here tonight. So if you're scared, we were all scared at one point. I remember as a, like, where was I? Director when I first went to my first SFR. Like, it was scary. Like, I was just a director, and like walking up to some of these SSDs, I was like, you are like an SSD, and like, I'm talking to you right now. This is crazy. Like, it's like everyone has said a million times tonight. Like, it's a feeling that we can't explain it to you guys. There's not enough words to tell you guys. So you guys already did big scary things by signing up. So do more big scary things by signing up for.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, what he just said is that, like, a lot of us do this, including us still as like SSDs or whatever. We still say we were just a director, or we are just this. But when you go to those events, your title means nothing. Like, nobody cares if you're a certified consultant, if you're an essential consultant. They are just happy to see your face. And I had something else too. I keep hearing people say things, and it makes me want to say something, and then I lose it.
Earlier too, and I was going to go off of it, and then I forgot it.
Yes. How me and Nikki just said that we were star consultants, and we left there saying we will be director in September. And how April just said that, same thing, similar thing happened to her. If you have the mindset, you can't have a mindset that you are going to try to. You're going to try to do this. I'm going to try to go to SFR. I'm going to try to hit director. You got to say, I'm going to SFR, and then you figure it out. Like, there can't be a doubt in your head, or you're going to talk yourself out of it. Same thing with like hitting director. or hitting whatever title you're trying to hit, you have to have it in your mind, like, I am going to hit this, and there's no other option. And then you're just like speaking it into existence, and then it'll end up happening. That was my other thing I wanted to say. But we are well over an hour now, so if anybody doesn't have anything else.
I just want to say, you guys, thanks for showing up and listening to everyone, pouring to you guys about this. Registration opens tomorrow. So as soon as that registration opens, jump on there and register ASAP, because there's no telling. Everyone's going to be wanting to show up to this event. It's the first event since the pandemic, and who knows if that will sell out. So if you're contemplating it, don't wait. Get on there and register ASAP. You've already been planning on it. Don't sit there and be like, oh, I'll do it next week, or I have until April. Just do it. Get it done and sign up and go from there.
I would not be surprised if it sells out but in the first week.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If I earned level 1, how does that work as far as like signing up for it or registering?
So when you register, there'll be an option for a voucher, and you'll just click the little drop box, and it should pop up your little like voucher for free SFR.
Okay, awesome.
There's a couple people on here that may have earned SFR. So you'll be able, probably the same voucher, right?
What?
Earned it, they'll be able to use their voucher.
Yeah. Yeah, some people like Nikki Floyd have like 2 or 3 built up for the last couple of
I
years.
was getting ready to say, like, I still have all my director consistency vouchers, both of them for 3 and 6 months.
So
I
I
never
have to
want to
call.
use
I'm
them for like a
gonna call
virtual.
Cincy.
So you'll get
Yeah,
to
we need
use
to
that
call
for
one-
registration, and you'll have to show up to leadership to claim your luggage.
Okay. And that'll be
I
an
got my
option.
luggage.
Also, you guys, if I know from previously they did, I don't know if anyone on here has earned level 3 sensational start. If you did, you'll be able to walk the stage at Cincy Family Reunion, and that's a huge accomplishment. Most people don't earn that. So that's a big thing to be excited for too. Alyssa, did you earn sensational start level 3? So we'll see you on that stage.
April, what do you think they're going to do for the people that earned it in like 2020? Are they going to let everybody walk, or are they just going to like, because they
From what I've heard, they're trying to see if they can, but that's a lot of people. So
I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Cincy makes it up, because that's what they do. So
they might have to do like different nights of different walks or something, like 2020, 2021. Because that's going to be a lot of people. Not only is that a few years built up, but it's also the year of hypergrowth when we have like 7,000 million people promote. So
I'm sure they'll make it special, either if it's a walk or if it's your name up on the screen. They'll do something, because they're not gonna leave everyone hanging. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know anything, but I wouldn't put it past them. So. Does anyone have any questions? Any other concerns? Anything that we can help answer before we let everyone go?
Has it been, have they told us how much it's going to be yet?
They did not, but I think from previous year, I mean, I'm telling everyone, prepare between 250 and 350.
Yeah.
I don't see it
Let's do
being
it.
more than that, but just an idea.
I think Austin was 350. I remember.
no, I don't think also is 350.
It was.
I'm pretty sure it was, because they had that deal if you like signed up by a certain date and you had like 3 certifieds by another date, you got it for 99. Because I paid 350 up front, but they reimbursed me what I already paid because I got it for 99.
Oh, shit, Disneyland was about the same.
Yeah, it was 350 to go to Austin. I'm almost positive.
So I just wanted to throw out there real quick, and this is kind of off topic. I remember at SFR walking into the big room, and I saw Johnny and Deandra off to the side, and I was like, oh my God, I want to go say hi. And I was still fairly new and I ran up and gave you guys a hug. I don't know if you guys remember that, but I spotted you guys out in the crowd and have been following you guys since the beginning of my
That was
journey.
the first time I met y'all too, in person.
And I
I remember
definitely
meeting Nikki at Austin.
took advantage. I mean, it was just a really quick, like, hi.
I think I got a picture with Nikki and Emily.
Yes. Yes, you
I'm
did.
so
Actually,
terrified. I
I remember
wouldn't
that.
speak to
And I about
anybody.
crapped myself whenever y'all walked away.
What's that?
I seriously freaked out. I was like, was that real life, Emily?
I can't wait. It's going to be
Yes,
so much
please
fun.
come up and say hi. Please come give us a hug. Don't be afraid. Please. And we're going to do the same, just so y'all know.
And anyone else that you look up to. Everyone is open for you coming straight up to them. They would appreciate you doing that. So don't be shy. And home office staff. It's going to be incredible. And like everyone else said, I will probably be a sobbing mess the whole time. So no need for makeup that day.
I like that Emily said too, like nobody cares about titles when you're there. Like nobody cares.
Hi, baby.
Nobody
Yeah.
cares.
Oh, look at the baby.
She said hi to the baby again.
Hi.
All right, I'm going to turn the recording off.